Cheers to Merab.
Cheers. Oh yeah, cheers.
Let's go.
Are we live right now?
Cheers to Merab.
Fuck.
Oh wait, did we get that whole?
Yeah, that's all.
Oriental.
Is that whole bit in this?
That's all on there.
Pour up some.
That'll be in the outtakes.
That's the
Little
start.
harbor for Iaquinta Real Estate.
Oh yeah.
And of course for Merab, the
Yeah.
machine, baby.
Guys,
Let's
cheers.
go.
Steve choosing
Cheers.
electrolyte water.
I didn't know what we were doing.
All right, I might look retarded with my legs up like this, but
Yeah, I'll get attacked from my feet.
Viva Merab.
Yeah.
Man, that was an amazing fight. I don't even know where to even start. Like, I feel like people look at him and they think he's not that good, and then they get in there and they just got to get reminded, like, fuck, it's just hard. He's a enigma, and I think we're all speaking from experience, just training with him, how hard he is to train with, spar with, and he just doesn't get tired. It's insane.
I feel like everyone knows how good he is now, though.
Now, I mean, it's
Like,
undeniable now.
Or even going into last night.
Did you think that's how the fight was gonna? Did you think he was gonna? I mean, I'll admit, I did. I told you guys I put some money on him to win by decision, which was working the last couple fights. Did you think he was gonna go out there and put him out like that?
I mean, that's what we were training for. Like, John was really putting a good emphasis on him. Anytime we get takedowns and sparring, like really trying to put some damage on and look for submissions. And not doing anything crazy. He ain't going for a fucking triangle choke or shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, yo, you get these front headlock positions 50% of the time. It's like, if we could get a finish here and really make this guy want to get out. And I remember being in the corner, I was like, he wants to quit. He wants to quit.
Yeah.
And then he took him down again. And I was like, oh, he's going to quit now. He's going to quit.
Do you think he quit, or did he just crank the fuck out of his neck?
I mean, look.
Is that quitting?
From the outside looking in, like it looked like it wasn't directly on the net. Like it's not like he was going to sleep. It was
Didn't
just
look like he fought the. He didn't
Yeah,
really, he
fight
didn't
the hands.
He didn't grab a hand. He didn't,
But I will, yeah.
He
Yeah, that's
rolled
true,
and he
actually.
kind of.
Yeah.
But
him
also
In that position, that's
after
getting beat. Yeah.
13 minutes of
100%.
Yeah.
like, and it. I know, and I think we know because we're like have been in there with him. Like when he's like moving and like O'Malley's like moving back, that's exhausting. You're like,
yeah.
nothing happened. There was no strikes landed the first like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But Merab was like
Just
dominating
moving,
him
yeah.
in that. O'Malley was like, you just like it doesn't. It might not. I don't know. Maybe it does, but to me, I'm like, oh, O'Malley, this is not.
This is
He's
a tough
not
look.
enjoying this. He's
100%.
not throwing anything. He's just like Merab's like looking down. He's looking up. He's moving. He's in your face, like in your face. Like Bowman was kind of similar in a lot of ways. Like he was like in your face
The whole
and
time.
it exhausted you. Even like just the energy. It's like a different energy.
Yeah. I kind of feel when you don't fight the hands, you're indirectly saying, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
It actually did look like when Merab put the choke in, like O'Malley kind of just let it happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, why couldn't guys just do that for me? It'd be so nice.
I mean-
but when you got that type of pressure the whole fight, you're just like, all right, I want to get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like respect him.
crazy.
Like, it's not like he just beat him in the. I thought he beat him everywhere. Like I thought he rocked him on the feet. Like I don't know if they have like stats for who landed more punches, but Merab I thought outstruck him, outground. I mean,
100%.
just top to bottom. What a fucking phenomenal performance.
Yeah, that's a hard out for anybody, man. I don't really see anybody beating him anytime soon. And I told him after he beat Umar, I said, brother, this in the back room, like right after, I go, brother, this was supposed to be your toughest fight. And look what you just did. This is the guy everyone was trying to say you were afraid of and you're ducking him and all this stuff. I'm like, you just won the belt. You want to relax and have some time. I'm like, I get it. I've been there. So I completely understand that. You want to feel mentally there to want to fight. And thank God he doesn't drink and smoke or anything like that. So he's able to kind of turn it around a lot faster than most people because he doesn't have to rebuild his body back up, right? So I told him the only way you lose is unless you stop doing the things that you're doing. I'm like, you are the only person that could beat yourself. Like everybody else in terms of skill, you might not be the best boxer, the best kickboxer, Muay Thai guy, jiu-jitsu wrestler. But when you put it in all together and you're in that octagon, man, I'm like, dude, you're a Tasmanian devil. Like nobody's gonna be able to keep up with that.
But what is the answer? Like I saw on Twitter, someone was like, "How do you actually beat Merab? Like, what do you do to beat Merab?"
I thought for like 1 minute of the fight.
Sorry, let me get that.
I think you have. Oh, I thought for like 1 minute of the fight, O'Malley did really well. Like literally the first minute.
First round?
Well, yeah, when he just started kind of like,
Yeah.
you can hold that.
That press a button?
Yeah, just hold it down.
Like pressing
He, like,
forward, right?
Yeah, pressed forward, like
The
backed
first minute of
Merab.
the third
Literally,
round.
The first
first
round.
round.
He like
Oh, the
yeah
first
he
round.
he backed Merab up at least. Like for 1 minute,
Yeah.
it looked like he had a decent idea. He was like tried to stab him with the front kicks. Like he tried to. It looked like he had an idea of what he was supposed to be doing. But then, like we were saying, like once Merab just started literally, he didn't even hit him. He just started literally doing that.
He's looking down. He's looking
Yeah.
up. He's moving. He's
And it just
down,
froze
like,
O'Malley
down, up
until
and
he
down,
backed
moving.
straight up to the cage. And I'm just like, all right, well, that's
Like,
the fight right
movements are
here.
crazy.
Yeah, like that energy, I think, is there's no rhythm. It's just a terrifying, like you don't know what you're looking at really.
You can't time it.
No, you can't time anything. Like, and you can see again, like O'Malley, he's good. Like he definitely had good ideas. Was trying to time things, like trying to time knees. Like there's definitely 1 or 2 knees where you're just like, oh shit, that was crazy. Like this guy did in the middle of his
That's
show.
some good shit.
That was crazy. But I mean, there's really nothing you can do with that. Like, I don't know what Sandhagen's next. Respect to Sandhagen for even wanting that fight. Like
Yeah.
I'm looking at that. Like Merab does what I think everyone's kind of terrified of. Like makes you tired. Like I think in a fist fight, the least scary, like
That's
the
the
scariest
worst.
feeling in the world would be getting tired, and that's literally what this guy's gonna do to you. It's like, yeah, I would.
You
If
don't
I'm
wanna
O'Malley,
fight. You don't wanna
the
do
more
anything.
tired
I
you
don't want
get,
to do that.
You throw a punch, your
You know,
meter goes
a
down.
little bit. His not even
Yeah,
a little.
You
You know?
gotta. It's like you gotta do something before your meter goes down, just enough for Merab to see it.
Yeah, yeah.
When the second Merab sees it, he just like
Doesn't
That's
stop.
when he just freaking.
No, that second
Yeah,
round,
he
he do the
gets more
spin.
Yeah.
energy when
Yeah.
your energy goes down.
Yeah.
It's like it goes to him.
Yeah, it's like,
When
oh
yours
yeah, you're getting
depletes,
tired.
it raises
yeah,
his up.
Yeah.
He's a sick
but-
fuck.
I think he's fought. I thought he fought the toughest guys. Like
Oh,
he
really?
had
toughest
went
road
through
to
a
just get
murderous
there,
road to
100%.
get where he's at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it might have hurt that they made an immediate rematch.
Oh, yeah,
I think
100%.
they thought he comes back now. He's healthy, comes back, and maybe it's a different fight.
Yeah,
I
one
think
hip.
it helped. Yeah, you healed up.
He needed.
What?
No,
I'm just saying he had one hip. He said the first time, and then now he had 2 good hips, and it was worse. It was actually worse.
I mean I think he had
How
that
many hips do you
realization.
think he needed, Aljo?
There's, look, there's nothing.
I don't know if there's enough hips in the world to save anybody from that man. It's just he's just a
You
different
just
type
have
of.
to be like a better grappler than him and have a sick gas tank.
Yeah,
Like you have to defend hella takedowns and
Yes.
and be able to submit him, I think,
it's not easy.
or knock him out crazy like in the
If
first.
you're game
minute.
planning for him, you have to be able to take him. You have to be able to control him. Like just contain him. Like
Yeah,
for
if you
a
take him
minute,
down
like,
and he gets back up,
then you
good
just,
luck.
Yeah, that's what's like.
Because even like
Good luck.
Umar could defend the takedowns, but then once he was tired,
Yeah.
it was like,
Now that
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Defend the takedown. I'm gonna do it. He does
that
it again.
cardio
He
is a
just
cheat
keeps-
code. Like
it,
that
like
is
just
really.
like no wrestler can like withstand it.
yeah.
Funny story about that. Umar, we were in a car in Abu Dhabi, me, him, and his brother. And I remember telling him, because he was like saying he wants to fight Merab, which I get, the same weight class. I was leaving the weight class. That was back after my O'Malley loss. And they brought it up, but he brought it up. I was like, yeah, I don't want to talk about this. This is very uncomfortable. 1 is 2 against 1 and me and my girl. I'm like, I really don't want to be having this conversation right now. I feel awkward. And it was like, how's he going to beat me? How's he going to beat me? And I was like, brother, he doesn't get tired and he's going to shoot 100 times. And then his brother said something. His brother goes, well, he would defend 100 times. And I'm just like, I don't think you guys understand until you're actually in there. And then, of course, we saw the fight. I'm like, I tried to tell you, brother. I did try to tell you. It's just, it's different.
No, it's different. Like if they were just like maybe just grappling, it might be different.
way
You know what I'm
different.
saying? Like if it was just maybe,
Even like Patchy.
Yeah.
Patchy subs him. He subbed me like once in a while, but he can control me sometimes unless I get his back first, right? And I've seen him grapple with Merab, and he gets Merab from time to time, right? More often than, which is why I think his confidence was so high. Like I could come there and become champion, like pretty much overnight. I'm like, brother, you guys also sparred, and I know that it doesn't always go that way. So
It's a totally different.
when
Yeah.
you're in
Totally
there,
different game.
like out
Yeah.
grappling a guy versus out fighting a guy is
different.
Yeah, and a certain style, like the style Patchy saw, that guy
a tough
fought
one.
to win.
Oh,
you know?
100%.
He fought a great,
Brilliant
you know
fight,
what I mean?
yeah. And I want to give that guy credit too.
Yeah.
Like Mario Batista, like everyone shat on him because of the Jose Aldo fight. Like again, I thought he'd fought a smart fight, but I do get it. But like even before that, the guy only had like banger fights. Like if you watched all of his fights before the Aldo fight, they were all very entertaining. A lot of finishes. But again, that's kind of why the sport's like sometimes sucks. You got one fight where you're like, oh man, he decisioned the legends. Like, yeah, I mean, he did what he had to do. Like, I mean, the alternative is when you saw Amian Zahabi, he fought Jose Aldo, he got booted in the head. I'm like, I don't know, I'd probably want to do the same thing Batista did and control this man against the cage. Like,
yeah, this is a crazy game. But even with Merab, I guess, would you guys chalk up anything to maybe like the coaching? Like, think anything like a Tim Welch situation could have maybe did better, or said differently, or giving them advice for their approach? Like, do we blame a lot of that on the coaching, or is that solely like just pretty much the athlete?
It's never good when you hear the lights in the sphere.
yeah, that's the reason for why he didn't perform.
Oh, is that what he said?
That was one of them.
Once you start hearing that,
There's already
listen, even if it is the lights in the
100%.
sphere, you don't say that. Don't say that. The lights in the sphere. Yeah, the lights in the sphere were the same for
everyone involved.
Fights. Everybody fought with the same lights. Nobody complained about the lights.
But fans will eat that shit up.
But who said that?
No, I don't think
Tim Welch
Tim
said
Welch said that.
no.
He said that.
Brother, I can't help you.
No.
And what did the lights have to do to him? But like, how did that affect him versus like?
Well, O'Malley.
I'm guessing is that what O'Malley told him? Because that's crazy. I don't think I can even tell my coach. I thought it was crazy when I told people when I fought Jan the first time that I didn't eat, and people were like, "Oh fuck, this guy said he didn't eat." I'm like, no, but that's actually a real thing. Like, but the lights I've never
you were
heard.
the fighter and you said it.
Yeah.
But because imagine if Ray or like one of the coaches.
Yeah, what would
was
you
like,
do if Ray said that? After
Oh yeah, no,
one
Aljo didn't eat, but that actually happened.
Yeah.
But imagine if it didn't. Like, do you think O'Malley told him?
That's what I'm trying to.
Like,
I don't know.
the lights. O'Malley said
if
this.
that's the case, then yeah, you're in trouble. Like already, like that's what you're thinking about the lights. Like, oh no, like, I mean, again, this is what I like. O'Malley after the fight, I think he had the realization of like,
Rob's a motherfucker.
he's a mother. He said it's like, yo, this guy's a motherfucker.
The first fight fucked him up.
No, that he
He
stopped smoking, stopped jerking off or whatever. Yeah, that's gonna help. Are
and
you
the
crazy?
UFC,
Al,
the UFC did not help him.
What do you
They
think?
They put him back in there. They should have given him 3 tune-up fights.
100%.
They should have said, keep smoking, keep drinking, but wrestle a little bit.
And
bring in a wrestler.
Jay the Peen.
Like, you didn't lose that fight to Merab because you jerked off a couple times.
Also, like, you're gonna stop
Why'd
smoking
you lose the fight?
No, you're just
Because
not.
you're fighting an animal.
You're fighting
He's
an
been
animal.
wrestling his whole life. He hasn't been smoking like since he was. I just
That's it.
realized I didn't know Merab. He said in his post-fight interview that maybe he smoked cigarettes and weed
When he was younger,
younger, I didn't even really know that. Maybe
Yeah.
I did, but
Probably like 3
I
times.
probably like
No,
that
he
was.
said he used to smoke a lot.
It's been
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like
years
20
that
years,
he's been
yeah.
doing the right thing. You think you're gonna stop that? It's hard. He went with that. I think he went with the quit that rather than start. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he was wrestling, but I didn't hear anything about it. You didn't hear any like tactical game planning, like. Like this happened in the first fight, therefore we did this, and now the result's going to be this.
100%.
He's in a good headspace. He quit smoking. He quit going on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like, I don't
But
know.
I think they hit such a lucky moment with Aljo that they thought like that's just how things are gonna go for them.
With wrestlers.
And he can just lock in, he can just stop jerking off, get off Snapchat. And then we're just going to knock him off. We're just going to knock him out. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we do. O'Malley's a sniper.
Yeah, but you need
But,
some
like-
sort of selling line. Like, you can't have him just be honest and be like, yeah, he fucking beat the crap out of me that first one. Like, it's not an exciting lead up to be like, no, he was just better than me that first night. I have to really make the adjustments. I have to get way better. I mean, as a competitor, that's what you want to hear, because then you'd be like, oh shit, this guy's like, I think he's really locking in. Like, oh shit, that would worry me if that's what he was saying.
I'm not worried about you saying I'm not jerking off anymore, because I'm just like,
Awesome.
well, I'll do. Pause. I'll do enough for the both of us. But even with that, because it is nice karma for me, and people can say I'm salty. I don't give a shit. When someone doesn't play by the rules and like get an unfair advantage, like this is karma and humble pie served up twice, and I love it because I'm like, dude, you came with an excuse the first time. You said the lights.
Yeah,
you said your hip.
The hip. But I'm not making excuses.
Yes.
Merab was good.
You got an automatic rematch. something I didn't get. I just had a 5-round fight with one of the greatest combat sports athletes of all time in Henry Cejudo. And then he comes in the octagon saying, you better be ready to cut weight again. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Bro, he literally campaigned on the weight cut shit.
Yeah, he was like, Aljo's not.
He's like, Aljo's got a crash diet.
How's the weight cut going?
This is a weight cut in the injuries coming into the fight. But then his thing is, I was injured. I hurt my ribs, so I couldn't even grapple. I'm like, but what's the difference between that and your situation with fight 1 with Merab to fight 2? He got to get all these things that he wanted, and the results were actually worse with him coming back. Yeah. He had a good hip. He had 2 good hips this time, and he got to feel what Merab felt like the first time, and he didn't have the bright lights. So it's just like, you get all these things, you get an automatic rematch, where other people, they don't obviously get some of those same, what do you call favors.
Break, yeah.
We were talking after we went to the bar after the fight, and I was like, it's like a wrestling tournament. There's the number 1 seed gets the easy way to the champion.
Yeah.
Like, pins his way through. And then the guy that's like the 13th seed wins by a point, then wins in overtime. Then semifinals has a dog fight, and he's in the finals. This guy breezed all the way to the top. This guy freaking grinds, and he upsets the number 1 guy. And that's like how it goes, because this guy's so used to like the easy, you know, like the way, you know 100%. What I mean? Like, we'll give the Aljo fight like the day after you know, like, we'll give him this guy here at this time, and now you got to fight Merab, who's fought freaking 10 savages in a row, has had the freaking grind to the top, and you got to go in there against him. It's like that. All that went out the window. You know what I mean?
The competition is just not the same, so it catches up to you when you give both sides a fair playing field. The cream rises to the top. So that's what this was. So for me, getting to see that was just like it was satisfying, because even though it wasn't me that won, it felt like that was justice served for the bullshit that they did just to get a chance to fight for the belt and just to get a chance to win the belt. Yeah. And I really do think if you're not in the right headspace, like even for him, I know he was trying to psych him out and do all this stuff in the beginning with the introduction and everything. I'm like, there's either 2 things going to happen. He's really dialed in, or he's not in the right headspace and he's trying to poker face
compensating for something.
Yeah, and that's what I did when I fought him the first time. And I was like, fuck, man, like you can't trick yourself into wanting to fight. And for him, it looked like, I don't want to say it looked like he didn't want to be in there, but I think he tried to go forward and see if he could get something going. And then once it didn't go his way, he was ready to just pack it in. It's like, hey, I'm going home. I've seen this movie before a couple of times, and I don't need to see it again.
He had flashbacks of, what was that, September?
Of Noche, September.
He had flashbacks of the freaking sphere and the lights and everything. He was like, oh.
Also, I was saying, if I'm fighting Merab, I probably want to be as high as a kite, honestly. I don't want to fight that guy completely sober, honestly. Like, it's a terrifying feeling, honestly. I want to take some edge off. Like, I want to drink or something. Like,
take a little shot in the back room.
Yeah, like that guy, I think he shot himself in the foot with everything. Is that a fight you'd be interested, like, rematching at, like, 145 or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. I'm at peace with that fight. Like, I signed the contract. I took the fight. It took some coercion from my manager and from the brass to kind of get me to do it. And whatever. I took the fight. I lost. If I won, it would have been the greatest thing ever, but, came up short. I have no desire to go back down to 135. But if he entertains saying, like, if he comes up with any excuse saying the weight cut was too hard, come to 145, I would love that. I would love that. It would be
interesting. I mean,
what's he going to do at 135?
Right? He could be at 45.
Yeah,
right?
I think so. I think he says he has a hard time making the weight. Also, like, just at 135, you're not gonna go back in the queue. Like, you didn't have to go in the queue to begin with, quite honestly. So like, now you're gonna.
Now he's back in the pool.
Yeah,
now he's in the tank.
He was thinking you're gonna.
He was in his own. He was in his own like pool, and then.
And now you're gonna be in with everyone else.
Top, and they had.
You're gonna fight the Umars, the Sandhagens.
For freaking 10 years, And
that's what I'm saying. Like, credit to Merab just for that too. Like, I think that would have mentally broken. Like, seeing one guy get the easy road every step of the way while you're fucking just grinding, fighting the Jose Aldos, like the fucking.
As an athlete,
that's gotta mentally like just drink, like,
Yeah, as an athlete, it's almost impossible not to feel a little envious and jealous when you see other people in an individualized sport, seeing other people get these favoritism and getting a push that you like. Well, why not me? I'm a fighter too. I'm doing good. I'm working my ass off. Like, I think I deserve that. I deserve that shit. We all feel like that. But when you make peace, that it's like they're gonna pick their golden gooses that they think are gonna make their run and do what they want them to do, and hopefully bring in extra dollars for them. There's a bottom line. So I get the business aspect of it. He's got the tattoos. He's got the colorful hair. He's got flashy knockouts over cans. I hate calling them cans. I don't want to call you guys cans.
Nah,
but over guys that aren't as talented.
Well, the guys that were picked,
for him to look
purpose.
good.
Yeah.
But it was like, damn, if I had a chance to do something like that, or even Merab, you give someone like that, like you don't know what star power you actually have, but you're picking your horse and not having an idea how the long-term race is going to go. But to his credit, he was able to cash out and win the belt. So I tip my hat to him. I'm like, but good luck keeping the belt.
Yeah.
Good luck keeping the belt. That's the hardest thing to do.
Also, now, like, you don't even have the, like...
But then they give him the other guy. He won, and then he fights Cheeto.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, no, that wasn't even right. Like, they fucking...
You know what I mean?
That,
come
again,
on.
In a fair
and
sport...
Cheeto's great, but
of course,
he's not the number
100%.
one guy.
Yeah, that wasn't
He was ranked 6th
and
at
it's
the time.
great. It like came full circle.
Yeah.
Merab's first fight in the UFC, I saw that he did an interview.
The way,
He goes, Sean O'Malley, you keep smoking, I keep training. Freaking 10 years later, O'Malley stopped smoking.
Yeah, right. How crazy is that?
That is funny as hell.
Isn't that freaking nuts?
That's so
He goes, right, you keep smoking, I keep training. He trained the whole time. You can't make up all those years. Like Merab's that's why it's gonna be so hard. I don't think there's anybody that's as dedicated. He just, like, it's the difference, like that. At that level, like him, he just does everything right.
He does
He's
everything
a
right.
model for
100%.
what it's all about. You know?
It's like there's like an analogy this guy Alex Hormozy says about Kobe Bryant. Like when Kobe came in the league, the guys he looked up to were already that much better than him, so he had to work like double to make up the difference.
Yeah.
And then he just kept working double, and now everyone who's chasing him has to work like triple just to catch up to him.
Yeah.
And then like now Merab's lapped everybody. He's that much ahead. So just to make up that difference is like,
I don't even know
You
how.
ha- I don't-
Like,
you
I don't know if
can't.
there's enough time in the day.
You
But
just gotta catch
who's the
him.
wrestler that he was working with? He was
Oh, with Steven Miocic, like the world champion, like the...
Yeah.
Gable Stevenson?
Oh, Gable Stevens.
No,
too,
Gable
but-
Stevenson, but the other, he was
Yes,
more his weight.
yeah,
He was more his
Miocic.
weight.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
I was
like,
going to say, what are we? What
No,
are we
no, no.
I was like,
Yeah.
how'd you just butcher his name?
No,
like that?
but Steven Miocic. What are you talking about? Like the Serbian? Well,
Yeah.
he's American,
Yeah.
but I think he won it for like Serbia or something like that.
And there was another high level wrestler that Merab was working
Just
with.
like wrestling with.
And
Yeah.
like going to war with. And that's O'Malley's where he was.
back then.
Merab is now working with these guys,
Yeah.
and O'Malley, I don't know, like you've got to work with twice as many of them. Like you're not, it's impossible.
Yeah,
You
yeah, they're
can't-
not easy to
Merab,
come by either.
Merab's already ahead of you,
Yeah.
proven in the first fight. How are you going to catch that up? It's easy to say, oh, I stopped freaking.
This and that.
I stopped masturbating. I stopped smoking. I stopped. What else did he stop? Instagram.
All that social
Like,
media.
Yeah.
You can fool yourself into thinking that's
That's
going
gonna
to
be
give you the
yeah,
win.
yeah, yeah.
You know, it sounds great.
And
Like
for some guys,
I'm in a great
yeah.
headspace, maybe. You know,
But not this.
but then you get in there and now you're like, oh shit, this is not. You know what I mean? This is real. This guy has been like it's a sick feeling to be in there with somebody that's like you just can't like your whole. It's like you know what I mean?
Nothing,
Like
yeah.
you're like I haven't been doing the right thing for the last 10 years against you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
for this, yeah, 100%. That's actually
like oh shit, 10 years of work this guy's been doing, and now's the moment where I'm in here and
I have to
like
make that up in
all
2
those
months.
joints I've smoked, like 3 weeks of not smoking is not going to do
Nah.
it. This guy's been doing it for 10 years. You know what I mean?
It's just, it's different. Oh my gosh,
I-
Rob's just a fucking animal.
I got one. I mean, they're gonna redo the rankings on Tuesday. Should Merab be number 1 pound for pound at this point? Because like, Islam doesn't have a title. Ilya doesn't have a title.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't even care about like the titles thing. I would just like go skill for skill. Like, I don't know.
If he was the same size as any of those guys,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Like, also, like, who would you rather fight? Like, again, like, I think what Merab does to people is like the scariest fucking thing as a fighter in the world. Like, he makes you like as a fighter want to stop doing it. Like, all right, I don't want to be in here. Like, that's like Islam gets on top. You know, all these guys, they're all good. Like,
Who would you say was close to that?
Well, that's what I'm
like
saying. Even
style.
like if you look at Merab's resume, I don't know. Like I love these other guys.
No,
resume.
like his style.
Oh, his style-wise?
Like to give that type of pressure. Because there's only one guy that comes to my mind when I think about that.
Khabib?
It's Gamrot. That's the only guy that I know that's like constantly in your face trying to shoot. And that other guy, Gustafsson.
Well, that's a different style of Gustafsson. Yes, yeah.
It's just a constant
forward. Yeah.
It's insane.
The style, I don't really. Yeah, like.
There's no one else that's doing that.
Cain
Velasquez
yeah, like when he was.
Colby Covington was kind of like that.
Yes,
like that.
those are the only guys.
I guess like that would be the only. Yeah, like those would be the only comparisons in terms of that. And again, I think Cain was the best heavyweight of all time. Like personally, I think he's my favorite heavyweight of all time. Like how I kind of like that style in general. But if you're saying pound for pound,
he would have been the greatest of all time if he didn't get
healthy,
hurt. Yeah. If he didn't get injured, he would have been the greatest.
And Rob, again, built different, doesn't really get injured in that sense a lot.
Respect to Stipe.
Yeah, no, respect.
You're the GOAT still, but just saying.
You think like, because I feel like you know when like Steph Curry came in and he like was hitting all these threes, he like changed the game. Now everybody shoots threes all the time. Like Merab, I feel like kind of broke MMA where like it doesn't matter like how good you are at one thing. Like he's gonna tire you out and he's gonna keep being tired.
That's a good point.
Do you think like
it's like evolving the sport?
Yeah, like but can people just be like is that a physical gift that he has, or can people just be like?
I think that's a gift.
I do too. Like I don't think anyone can just be like, I'm gonna just get cardio like that and go get it.
If you fight, play basketball or anything, when you faint, all that stuff takes up so much energy. And when you're doing it at that rate that Merab does it, just try to do that for one round.
You shadow box like that.
Shadow box for one round, just trying to fake the whole time. And then also having the nervous energy of maybe someone's about to strike, or maybe they're gonna shoot on you or something like that. And then you try doing that the whole time for one round. And you're gonna be like, there's just no way.
It's not.
It's not physically.
Is there a way to get that?
I mean, look, I think.
You gotta ask Merab.
I mean, like,
he's the
what
only
does
one I know
Merab
that can
do?
do that.
I feel like he just does a fuck ton of rounds and he runs.
Yes.
So if I just started doing that,
Oh,
3 rounds a night.
3 rounds a night.
Used to live with the
savage.
Wait. All right. So if you were just like, if I was like, I want to get the same level of cardio as Merab, and me, just a blank slate.
I think you have to start like 15 years ago.
I knew there was something missing the whole time.
What?
For me to get that extra bit of cardio.
That's what you think that was it?
Being a
I think.
No.
I think if you started doing that 15 years ago, yeah.
That's what.
That's what I'm saying. Like someone, I think you're gonna make up for it now.
But that's the blueprint, right? Like, I mean, but would that if everybody did that from age
10,
14?
Yeah, you got a shot.
It's definitely like nature and nurture. He's naturally
that.
He's like, there's some people, they're never gonna get that ever.
Yes.
He came into the gym with a work ethic. Like that's like something that's like instilled through his culture, through his people, through where he came from, his mindset. Like he's naturally, genetically able to reach. Some people are just genetically not able to meet. Like they're never gonna do it. And then he puts in the work.
100%. No, physically,
fast twitch, slow twitch muscles. Like you're like naturally born to a certain side of that fence.
It's interesting because he has like
both.
Yeah, that's what it's really fascinating.
They got the endurance factor in the fast twitch. Like to be able to do that is insane.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of people.
Because I feel like taking somebody down and like slamming them is fast twitch.
That's I'd say so. Like you have to have that explosion for a lot of those.
Picking up a human.
Even just those feints, like you have to constantly be like able to be like that fast twitch, but.
Yeah, just try to do that for one round. That's my challenge to the fans. Try to do that for one round. You feint constantly to try to time a takedown, and the person is just sitting there waiting,
moving around,
and moving the whole time, and just do that straight for 5 minutes.
Your calves just burn up, just moving like he moves, and like
it's insane. That's what I'm like.
And now he's got like the aura too, which is that's the scarier thing. You get that like people you're scared to throw. I don't want to fight this guy 100%. For one round. Yeah. I'm going to try to take the first round off.
He's not taking the round off.
And then by the time you start, you're already tired anyway. It's like you don't. He's got that. He's got that
mindset.
Yeah, like you're going in there against Merab with the freaking cardio.
Yeah.
Good luck.
That's already going to break you just going into it. I think he said it in the press conference, like before the fight. He goes like, I really wanted to, win in the first O'Malley fight. I want to bring the belt home to Georgia. He's like, almost like, now I don't really give a fuck. So I'm about to go out there and just like scrap out there. I'm like, okay, like can't tell if he's serious or not, but he's a pretty honest guy. So like, let's see how these go. When he was he was throwing like a fucking Mad Hatter. Like that spinning attack he was doing at the end of the second round. I'm like, this dude doesn't give a fuck about anything.
It's like bro, if I miss the takedown, just take down harder.
Just do it again. No.
Just he'll throw a few punches, miss the takedown, then just throw like harder punches. It's like, and you can't do shit about it. Like
you're literally thinking about two different things at once and trying to time which one you think is going to be. Because if you throw the punch and you miss, you throw the knee and you miss, you get taken down. If you don't defend the takedown, right? Well, if you do defend the takedown, you commit to it, then you get fucking punched, and you're just like, I can't win. There's no winning. How do I win these exchanges?
Like, trust me, he's got pop. Like I have no question he can do some damage.
I almost went down in the back room when he did one of the setups, and then he punched me right to the gut. And then he took my back, and I was like, "Oh!"
It was a buzzsaw, right?
Bro,
you don't know where it's coming from. I was watching him when I had good seats.
Yeah.
Hunter Campbell hooked it up.
Oh, sick! You did?
Gave me good. And I was sitting right there. Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
I said, "Hey,
shout out Hunter.
Hey, Hunter, do you have any employee X? I was not employed. I said, do you have any retired-ish discounts for X independent contract?" He goes,
probably made him laugh.
He goes, LOL. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm sitting there and I'm just like watching him, and it's like he's looking up, he's looking down, he's moving, he goes down, he goes up. He goes up and then he shoots. He goes and then he throws a 3-punch combination.
Yeah.
You know, O'Malley's like he doesn't even know what he's like.
What
frozen.
stance to be in?
He's frozen.
Yeah.
So
even my spar, it's a hard spar with him these days, man. It really is.
I can't imagine.
It's not. Bro, I think I did a better O'Malley impersonation than
O'Malley
when actually happened in the fight. Like, not even trying to be like a dick about it. Like, even Merab said, he's like, you did way better as being O'Malley than O'Malley was able to be himself. I was like, I'm just glad I was able to give you good enough looks so that we've seen all. I'm like, you've seen all this. Me throwing the long cross, trying to hit his body, throwing the teep cakes, Cameron throwing the teep cakes, trying to hit the crosses. And then when he threw one of them, and then Merab came back and counted, I was like, yes. I'm glad you got to feel what I felt, because it doesn't feel nice. It's not great. So I was happy about that.
So should Merab be pound for pound number one?
I mean, obviously with bias, I'm going to put him as number one.
I'd just say who else would be?
I mean, you got to look at Ilya, right?
I was going to say Ilya. That would be the only other.
But Merab's got more.
Well, in terms of accolades and everything, that's why, like, again, his resume.
What do you
What
count
more can
more?
you do?
And
Yeah,
just like he imposes his will on every style.
On against every person.
I also think Merab's.
Can you imagine Ilya versus Merab fight?
If they were the same size?
I don't think it ever happened.
No, it never happened. But just imagining like what that would ever look like. Like, would Ilya actually be able to hit him? Because Merab's trained with him before, sparred with him and everything.
Yeah.
But knowing that, and Merab being where he's at now, and where Ilya is at, where he is currently, like skill wise, it's an interesting thing to wonder. Like, could he get Ilya tired and then start imposing his will, or would Ilya actually land like the knockout shot? Of course, they would never fight. But it's just when you, as an MMA fan, like even for me, like I've thought about like, how would a fight with Merab and I actually go? I'm like, yeah, we spar multiple times, but would it actually go like that in a fight? I don't know. So as a fan, just kind of wondering, like, I wonder what that matchup would actually look like. But it'd be fun.
If they were the same size, I think Merab wins. But like right now, I don't know if Merab.
Not this discrepancy in weight.
No, like,
definitely
not even anything like that.
I'm just saying, like style wise.
Yeah, that's what makes it fascinating. Like you were asking earlier, how do you even beat Merab?
I don't know.
Can you even like
who's got the willpower to survive that?
My money it'd be hard to bet against Merab. It'd be really hard to bet against him.
Unless Ilya has like that type of gas in the tank.
It would have to be something like that. Like
we know Ilya can defend takedowns and stuff.
Yeah.
But Ilya could be the guy that, like we said, if someone has to knock him out early, like if Ilya has that type of capability.
I believe that, and it looks like he has solid grappling, like good defense everywhere.
Yeah. Wait, so we are blaming the coach for
the loss?
Yeah.
I want to
Al, what do you think of Tim Welch as a coach?
You can't put.
This is why.
Listen, he's coaching with what he's got. What he's got. Yeah. That's what he's got.
Has he overperformed as a coach or underperformed?
When you're coaching, they kind of like you know.
No, they're good for each other. Fuck it.
Yeah, they're great for each other.
Those
guys are great for each other.
You know what?
100%.
That's it. Keep working with each other.
Yeah, keep working with each other. Now we'll see. Now let's see what happens. A
100%.
little adversity, and, you know what I mean? Let's give you a little adversity and 100%. See what happens now.
I don't know if you guys saw the clip.
Let's go up to 145 and fight Aljo and see what, you know, give like on fair, even playing field. You know what I mean?
I've lost 2 fights in a row, and I can tell you it's one of the toughest hurdles to get over in the UFC of like, fuck. Am I going to win this last fight? Because if I don't win this next fight, I'm probably going to get cut. Like, you have to think like that, because usually it's 3 strikes and you're out. Sometimes they could be a little bit nicer to you, whatever, give you another opportunity, but you just never know. So now with him hitting this adversity spot in his career, his life, I wonder how he's going to respond.
They're feeding him.
They're probably. I was going to
ask. Like,
so wait. Before we get into that, because that's a good one.
Okay.
I'm just curious to know, what is his mental going to be going into his next fight? Because again, I have no ill will towards O'Malley. I just know he took advantage of a situation and made the most of it. Yeah. Whatever. Fair play to him. At the end of the day, I'm still a fighter's fighter. So if he's doing any X, Y, and Z, I'm going to still support. But with that said, I'm curious to see how he responds in his next matchup. Obviously, I don't think before we get into that, the UFC is probably not going to do him another layup favor in terms of stylistic matchup. Like, he's going to have to fight the toughest guys at this point. So it's going to be curious. I'm curious to see, what is he going to look like in his approach? What is he going to change? And will people look at his style now and realize what I've been saying from before, years ago, before this matchup was even a thought, when he was just coming up, I was like, he's good, but there's a couple of things. His style is very, very good and catered to winning against guys who are stationary fighters, and they don't move a whole lot, and predominantly not a grappler. And he just looks like a fucking world beater. But then now we see some opposition, and everyone kind of figuring him out. In the top 5, we know it's a different ballgame, just like the Yan fight when he went from Pedro Munoz to Yan. So I am curious to see how he's going to bounce back. And even if he loses the next one, will it be a good performance? Like, will he make some changes to his game? Because I think that's the only way he could get back in the win column. Because if he stays the same, I think a lot of people realize he's good, but if you do X, Y, and Z, like a Mario Batista, those are tough fights for you. A Kyler Phillips, those are tough fights for you. Merab, Umar, those are tough fights. Even a Piotr Jan, who's a little bit more stationary, but once he gets moving and starts putting those hands on you, it's a tougher fight for him.
Merab exposed a lot of weaknesses, I think.
And I think even like mentally.
It's like this fight, the momentum went like this for Merab, and I think it went like this. Like, you know, I think Merab just, like, who's signing you don't want to sign a contract or fight that guy.
I feel like
you don't want to sign you want to fight Merab. You're like I already feel like I'm tired. Like, yo,
in training, that's your biggest focus.
It's like,
I gotta get tired every single training session and see how I can recover.
100%.
But now you're not training towards your like your assets. You're kind of like training to negate his and his. None of that. Yeah, you know what I mean.
That's hard, man.
Yeah,
I feel like his mentality will be depending on what they do for his opponent. Like, if they give him another layup, then he'll look good.
Yeah. But even if we say a layup, right? Who would that be? The only person I can think of stylistically, which would be a relatively favorable fight for him, would be a guy like Patchy Mix,
Moutinho.
Chris Moutinho. He's back, but Moutinho's got a really tough fight.
Yeah.
And this guy he's fighting, the Dana White Contender Series guy, he's the one that got the knockout and then quit his job. Got the bonus. Quit his job. Probably should have still held it for a little bit longer.
But it was a good job.
I'm saying YOLO, but respectfully, I didn't retire after 8. I didn't quit my job until after 8 fights in the UFC. But I don't know who else. I mean, Patchy, we look at maybe Ayman Zahabi.
You might have had a better job.
Ayman's like kind of just in the pocket with you, right?
Yeah, those are fair fights.
Those would be some good stylistic fights.
Or they
give him Song Yadong.
I could see him being like, go to 145. We're gonna build him up again.
Yeah, I could see that though, because I think
we're gonna give him another like.
What's his path to get to 135 belt again? Like that, if you're looking to be the champ,
I just
at least, like,
can't see it. There's no world that makes sense where O'Malley's actually a fair contender fighting the hardest fights back to the top. But he's too valuable
Is he though?
Yeah,
To not just
He's valuable. That crowd, I
bro.
couldn't believe it.
After he got fucking finished, they were cheering for him.
You're proud to be an
Bro.
American. What the freak, man?
Bro,
you can't use that song.
Merab would miss a takedown.
And then fight like that for America.
You can't use that song. Yeah.
Also, if
You're
anything,
getting-
Merab is
you're-
the really the
you're getting
American
deported.
dream. Yeah.
Ice.
Oh, yeah.
Ice needs to get freaking. If you use that song in Ice, get out of here.
Nah, but dude, like even like after, bro, he'd defend a takedown. He'd stand back up,
And people are
and the
losing their
crowd would
minds.
cheer louder than when
Man.
Trump walked in.
Yeah.
From O'Malley standing back up,
They love the guy.
dude. Like no matter what, like he has to be.
But the pay per
They
view
have-
numbers don't show that.
I mean,
It doesn't
let's be
matter,
fair,
bro.
pay-per-view
'Cause
numbers
it's
are
not just
also,
about
I
pay-per-view.
think,
It's
all
like
that
No, of
now.
course it's
It's
not
just
just
about,
about
like,
that. But
how many fans does he have? Like that's the UFC needs more guys like that.
For engagement.
No, that's true.
like-
Especially
They definitely
in a
need
world where
but
the
they got
UFC
Merab.
doesn't have that many stars. Yeah, but they're not gonna fucking.
Bro, when Merab got in, he got a just as big of a pop, I thought.
But they're like a record label, bro. They see whoever gets the most engagement with the least amount of dollars behind him.
Oh, of course.
That's who
always
they pour the money on.
Man, that's fucking.
That's how they do it.
But I think Merab is another superstar for sure.
Now,
Now,
Yeah.
yeah. That's fair.
now,
Well, even
maybe.
after the Umar fight, even after the O'Malley fight, the first one, and then even after the Umar fight, I think it exploded. After the Henry fight, this shit went to the roof. He became Mexican overnight. Like,
Awesome.
He's a fucking rock star. He's got 1.7 million followers
and he
now.
did it all. I think a lot of it,
Himself.
You know what I mean? Like
It's crazy.
he actually is like
The
a
real
super
American dream.
talented, like in just not even just fighting, like as an entertainer too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the raw talent, like
Fun fact behind the scenes, he took maybe 10, 12 takes of him trying to fake yawn. To do the one where he burned to the bed and turned it to me. Like 10, 12 takes of him because he didn't know how to yawn. I'm like, have you never been tired before?
Get the
Have you
fuck
never
outta
been
here.
tired
That's
before?
so
actually
good.
crazy.
The guy doesn't know how to yawn. He's never been tired.
Yeah. I was like,
Shut the fuck
Merab, that is not a fucking yawn, brother. Like, what? I was like,
never yawned before.
Merab's never yawned.
hysterical.
one of the
Hysterical. We were
craziest things
all
I've ever
crying,
heard.
laughing
Really
because
is
it's
a
like, yo,
machine.
bro, you've never
Bro,
yawned
literally.
before?
I've never
hasn't
actually
yawned
heard of
in
this.
his
This is
life.
amazing.
It was just,
I've never. Now that I think about it,
I've
never seen
him
Merab
Now that
yawn.
he's saying, I'm like, I don't know if I've
Never
ever
seen him yawn. Bro, Merab's
Yeah,
not
but seriously.
tired. Merab will
How
fucking
crazy
train
is that?
twice. Like
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
3 girls over and
be a
still
late
not
night
be tired.
Avenger.
Although
Late
I
night
did-
event. We call him a late night
Although I
Avenger.
did hear him on like what was
I
it,
shouldn't say that.
Helen Yee, whatever. He's like,
beat
I'll
the
take a
dog,
month, enjoy myself, and then maybe I'll try to find myself a good girl, something like that.
Yeah, no.
It was very what? It sounded very wholesome, but he did say he wants to take a month first to himself, which I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
you
guessing
gotta,
means
gotta explore your options, man. You can't just go settling down right away. He's a champ. Let the champ be the champ.
aren't you engaged?
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about me. But I understand.
Becca was
I'm
there.
also
yeah.
a man.
Fucking.
All right,
anyway.
so Merab's got Sandhagen next.
All right.
So I was saying, so do you guys think that obviously Merab has cleared the way pretty much against the entire division at this point of all the most worthy challengers or the toughest road to get to the belt? With that said, like, do we all feel and agree that Sandhagen should for sure be the next guy, or is there somebody
At
else?
135, there's no. It's if we're talking about fairness, like if this is a fair sport, he's the guy. Like there's no one else. He hasn't. Who else? I mean, I heard
Who did he
Dana.
just beat?
The Umar rematch. He said,
I heard
right?
Dana say that. Oh, come on.
But
now.
then he asked him if that might be next, and he said no.
All right,
So
see, that's
he-
what I'm saying. Look, because even though,
he gave,
yeah,
they put the camera on Sandhagen. When they put the camera on him, I think that's pretty much.
no, that's
you
the
know,
right
yeah.
thing to do.
That they could do that, but then they also know that Dana is gonna get the final.
In the back, yeah.
Well, no, he was. the
No,
one
but
that-
there was probably
oh,
Dana
yeah.
going Corey's
They were
next
the one.
No,
that
he's the right guy. Like that's not unless
Wait, but who did he fight?
Sandhagen. He just
He just
beat
beat Figueiredo.
Yeah,
Finishing
Figueiredo.
with the 50-50 knee bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's a
before that,
big-
he had the Umar fight. He
Alright,
lost to
alright,
him, but like that was a competitive fight.
Very
I thought-
competitive.
Yeah.
Even though I still think Umar won like either 3-2 or 4-1.
I thought he won 3-2.
Yeah, but it's a close fight.
Yeah,
But then also Jan's got a good comeback as well.
yeah. But I will say the only reason
'Cause he fought him already.
He already fought him. Yeah, and that was a dominant one too. Like it
Okay,
wasn't.
can Merab just take 6 months off and like let the division?
He doesn't want to. I feel that's
As
the
a
right
bully.
thing to do to let the division develop. But that's,
like,
that's
no.
what I think.
No.
But if he
I
could
love
just
it.
keep
There's not
running
even
through
like a
stacking that
surging
money, bro, he's just
contender.
gonna keep
Merab's
doing
on a
like this.
legendary.
This is incredible.
fucking-
100%.
He could,
Just
yeah.
keep
If
going.
he fight, yeah. I mean,
Dude,
so
this
he
is some
fought
Chama shit.
Sphere.
Yeah.
This is some
trauma.
Chama
Sphere,
shit.
and then
Chama, bro.
Umar,
Chama.
and then this again.
Chama.
That's 9 months.
Yeah.
3 fights in
unreal.
9 months.
And they mentioned this at
he
the
probably made
press
like $10
conference.
million.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, but
I hope so.
Not
Better.
far.
yeah, I hope he fucking made $100 million. Honestly, like
I'm gonna say before he's gotten to this point of popularity, where he was at before, based on what I know, I don't think so. That would be great. I would hope that.
That would be great.
But I'm just telling you, I don't think that.
You know what the thing is, though? I don't think he even gives
100%.
No, he doesn't.
I think
Yeah,
he
he
would
doesn't.
be
Me, I'd
fighting.
be complaining. I'd be like, fuck this. Rob's like, oh, this is sick. Fucking, come on.
Hey, bro, I'm not going to pocket watch, but I'm probably not that far off.
I mean, look, you might be right.
Including sponsors?
I don't want to disclose, like, because then if I'm, yeah.
You're saying including
I
sponsors?
don't put myself.
I think any guy who's
Yeah, he's
gone on
doing
that
it.
type of run has made $5 million at least.
You got to remember, he won the belt 2 fights ago. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's a good amount,
No.
but 10 is.
No,
10 is
okay, all right, yeah.
10 is like a. I don't want to say Jamal Hill, but that's like a light heavyweight number that they would give those guys if they were able to do something like that. Like
Yeah, this is
Pereira,
not a
pretty
fair
sure,
sport.
easily.
The crazy thing is that,
Probably should be making more.
No,
That's another conversation.
like, I don't know. Dana's saying Dana even brought it up, like, the guy's going to go through the division twice.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, what is he?
He beats Sandhagen, then who's
Then Umar again.
the problem with
Umar needs to fight. Umar needs to fight somebody else.
Look, you're right.
If they let Umar do the same thing O'Malley just did, that is asinine.
Well, no, it just makes the division a joke.
But honestly, it'd be.
I mean, I like it
they
from
think,
Merab.
yeah, they think it's good. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, we'll save this guy.
Yeah, 100%.
The difference is he's gonna do more than just like quit. Like,
I got
a
you.
couple
What's the
things.
point?
He's gonna put some.
No, there's
work
no
in.
point, but
They're not. But who? Umar?
Because if he loses, you got 2 guys in the abyss like this, like in Get Out when they hypnotize the guy, the black guy, and he's got.
he's just falling forever.
Yeah. So you get 2 guys in the abyss that's just lost. Why would you want to do that to the division?
Because I think
Like-
they're trying to, what is it, like,
Trying to scum him?
well, yeah, they're trying to scum, but they step over $1 to pick up a penny. They just keep thinking, all right, like, maybe we'll get this guy, he'll make it interesting. It's like, nah, if you do it the right way, you could actually make it interesting by, like, building both
By
these
building
guys up.
somebody
Yeah,
up.
that would be the right thing to do.
I get interested in fights when a guy's on a win streak and the champ is obviously on a win streak. That's more fun to
course.
want to be like, there's a storyline here.
But when
This guy's whooped a lot
it
of
has to be
that.
organic.
Well, it should be.
No,
it should always be.
I'm
organic,
saying if
but-
a guy wins, like a Bilal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena,
Yeah.
there's a good storyline behind that.
Yeah.
And of course, with all the stuff, I'm going to show him my Canelo boxing hands, which we know he's not Canelo, but I'm sure it's decent. There's a storyline there. Bilal's got one of the longest reigning winning streaks at the weight class ever. And then you got Jack Della Maddalena, he was like 17-1 or 16-1 at the time. And on a crazy win streak, he didn't lose to like his second pro fight or whatever it was.
Yeah, he hasn't lost
And he
since.
hasn't lost since then.
Yeah.
That's an entertaining fight. Now, let's say Jack Maddalena loses and you put him back in there again. It's just like, well, if these other guys got a more compelling storyline and resume, I'd rather watch this guy because
But who
this
is
makes me
that?
feel like he might have a chance to upset the champ.
right now,
But who
there's no
is that
one.
at bantamweight?
Right now,
No, there's no one.
So you got to build these guys.
That's
Like, you got to
why-
make the
That's
fight.
what we're saying. Yeah, that's what we're saying. It's better to build it than to throw Umar back in there. And even for Umar's confidence, I want to go out there and beat somebody else and go like, I'm back, baby. Bitches, I'm the fucking man. I'm coming
100%.
for that belt. That's way more exciting than him going back in there, coming off of a loss, which I thought was, I don't want to say one-sided, but I clearly could tell who was in control of the fight. It's just like, what are we going to watch the same episode again? We just watched this with O'Malley too, and it was better in the sense that it was worse, like way more dominant.
Imagine if Merab does that same shit to Umar.
I think
Dude,
you make it
that's
worse.
that is demoralizing.
It seems like he
That's
does
like
pretty well in rematches, so I'd say he might make
Yeah,
it worse.
I mean,
It's crazy.
you're not going to outwork the guy. So if you're at this level, and you got to outwork Merab from
From now,
point now to the time we fight, you got to outwork a guy that's going to Monaco and is waking up and running the hills in the morning. I'm going to Monaco.
And I'm hanging the fuck
Yeah,
out.
I'm gonna be like, oh, I missed my run this morning. You know what I mean? Nah, I don't know, but like that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
and people recognize that. Polino Cruz, he was like, dude, I was in Monaco. All the fighters were having a good time. They're in Monaco.
Uh-huh.
Like,
And this guy,
you know, like
Bro, that's
majority
aura.
of people,
That's
That's
amazing.
fucking aura.
But-
majority of
Yeah.
people, like fighters that come from where they come from, whatever it is, like, you know what I mean? Like, like me, I'm in Monaco. It's gonna take a lot,
Bro, but imagine being
It would
all
take
those
a
guys,
lot.
and then you just see Merab.
Yeah.
He comes in, he doesn't have a drink.
Yeah.
He goes to bed early.
Yeah.
You're like this, looking out the window at a
Yeah.
bar, and
Yeah.
you see Merab running down, and you're just
You're like
looking
drinking
at
till
him
5 a.m.
You're going. It's light out. You're stumbling home, and you see Merab running up a hill. You're like, yo, it looks like Merab. Holy shit, it is Merab.
Bro, that's like he just big dicked everybody in Monaco just by
being
just
himself.
outworking, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. That's the guy you want to be.
That's
Yeah.
100%.
He goes, Polino Cruz, he goes, this guy's, he's crazy. He's an animal. He goes, bro, we were in Monaco. Everybody was, what would you do? You know what I mean? And he's,
Bro, he doesn't do any strength and conditioning either. He just wrestles
very,
and runs.
very, very rarely.
Yeah.
Like little.
It's like all that science shit. No electrolytes, none of that.
Man's
He just
an
fucking
anomaly.
trains.
cuts
really.
weight like a beast.
Eats some
Weights like a
fucking
beast,
fruit.
yeah.
This is probably his
Wait.
best weight cut. I
Really?
will say that.
That's awesome.
He
Yo, I
made, he
heard
was
he-
at 140 on Wednesday night, like after working out. I was like, wow.
Bro, I heard. I don't know
He did
why
a
I saw
great
on
job.
Twitter that he was having a bad weight cut.
Yeah, I
That's
feel like
so
they do
funny.
that every fight, though. I feel
That's
like
so
they almost.
funny.
I feel like
Where the
somebody
fuck
almost
do
puts
people
that
get
out
this
just
shit?
to be like.
I'm gonna start
let's make
doing
this
that.
interesting.
I hit up
Yeah,
Watto.
yeah,
No, because
yeah.
I saw it and I hit up Watto. I was like, "Yo, how's Merab?" He
Fine.
didn't answer me, but I was like actually concerned.
I mean, 134. I think he made 134 last fight.
That's
too. I guess.
aura too.
I guess he just does that. Cuts
Bro,
an
he
extra
just
pound
cuts an
now.
extra
I don't
pound.
know. Yeah,
like, fuck you, and I'm gonna submit you.
So you guys think Sandhagen is?
I think that's a fair fight. That's the right thing. Yeah, we got. We got.
Yeah, we're just. This is a glaze fest for Merab. We're just glazing
Kinda,
Merab.
yeah.
Every topic
this
we
is
just
what
go.
we would be doing.
Yeah.
Though, if we
Oh,
were,
100%.
Like if there wasn't
If there was no
like a
cameras,
podcast,
we'd
we'd just be sitting here.
This is what we did at the bar. This is literally what we did at the bar last night.
An extension of what was that? Reds in
Red Beer Garden.
right
Yeah.
across Red's Beer Garden across the street.
All right, so
He's a
This is
fucking
what
legend.
everyone's doing today. Everybody in the freaking country, unless you're a Sean O'Malley fan, then you're like,
Then you're just
Like
Yeah.
that one guy,
Merab.
K-side, that was talking shit to me. He was so, this guy was so pissed. I think he was a Happy Dad staff guy. He was so pissed. He was like, fuck you, fuck you. I'm like, bro, I'm just taking a piss, but you're actually really mad. That's what,
you're so
I started
lucky
going,
there's a-
2-0, 2-0.
Yo, Happy Dad should sponsor Merab.
Even though he doesn't
even
drink,
drink.
which is
Yeah, just, fuck it,
hilarious.
just give him some money, guys. Come on. I say Merab,
Let him part of the team,
Sandhagen,
Make
I
a
think that's
virgin.
fair.
A virgin.
O'Malley,
virgin,
Aljo.
so-so.
I think those are the
Virgin
fair
and Merab
matchups.
can't be in the same sentence.
what is it?
Virgin and Merab can't be in the same sentence.
Some virgin cocktails, I'm saying. Happy Dad.
For Merab?
Bro,
Let me start a whole line for that.
sports change society.
What is that?
Like, I don't know.
Oh,
Like,
you're saying sports changes society.
like sports,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sports
Whatever
affects
sports
culture.
do, we affect the culture, but
Like-
so much.
No, I would hope that.
Like UFC promotes the guy that smokes weed. All these little kids are smoking weed and have pink hair. Merab's UFC promotes. If the UFC wanted to, UFC could change the freaking world. They could go, look at Merab. This guy came from the Republic of Georgia. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He works hard. All these kids are gonna. How many kids in the audience had pink hair? And they're like, this guy smokes weed, cheats on fucking whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
No, but-
you could
No, you could've
change
marketed
the
the shit
world
out
for
of
a
it.
better
No,
place
100%.
if you fucking get
Let
behind
him
this
cook.
motherfucker.
No, I
Let him
agree, but I don't.
Shut
think,
up, Jake.
I don't think.
Cook.
I don't think they're like picking O'Malley and then being like.
You can't tell me they didn't pick him.
No. But fans gravitated to O'Malley because the way the culture is right now, kids
That's a
are
good
just
point.
playing video games, watching porn, jaying the peen, smoking weed. Everyone
but if you
smokes
give a
weed.
shit about-
Everyone's
So that's
a
what I'm-
fucking like dopamine
Yeah.
fiend.
Yeah, you're not wrong though.
They're
But
like-
what Al's saying is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you promoted
Yeah.
a different message with another guy who's a standout
Yeah.
guy in all aspects of
Yeah.
life, what are kids that are doing those things? What are they gonna look at him like? Fuck, man, Rob's a champion. He's doing all these things. Maybe I should look at some of the stuff that he's doing, and maybe you should take some note and
Yeah.
model my life after him.
No, 1,000%.
What's wrong with that?
I just think they're meeting the kids where they are.
Yeah, but that's
They're meeting
lazy.
the culture where
That's
it's
lazy.
at.
You're not. That's what I'm saying. You're not wrong, but that's just lazy.
when, like you said, bottom lines and shit, it's like we have to do what's the most effective with our dollar.
No,
And
look,
that's
I
what
don't.
they're
This is,
doing.
like, you don't. First of all,
I wish it was-
You don't have to do anything, but
Yeah, well,
At what how about this? At what point does the UFC be like, okay, we've made a lot of fucking money. Like maybe we'll try to do the right thing by the fighter. You know, like is there ever a point where like there's enough money, or is it just always no? There's always a
Now
bottom
there's
line.
investors involved.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
There's
when does it?
They went back
ever-
to private though. They did go
they?
back to private.
Like,
I don't know what
So
they
what
did with
does
my
that
shares.
mean?
I think I got the money back in my account.
Like,
I did buy into the UFC stock, the TKO, because I was like, Endeavor. I was like, fuck this. I know where this company's going. I know the research. I'm in the company. I understand. I'm fucking investing.
Smart.
I think they sold it though, so I got my.
But at
I
what
think
point
I
can
might
they
have
just be like, okay, like we have enough money. Dana White's a fucking gajillionaire. All of our staff are like making good money. Like, can't they just do the right thing now? Like, I don't know. Like, at what point should they just be like, all right, well, we're done promoting bullshit. Let's just go back to good fights. Like, make it fair fights.
Let's just get people to slap each other.
Yeah, like, yeah, the fucking.
They go,
You gotta
we got
sick."
this MMA show. Like, they would just sit there and they go, let's pay
Just get two guys
let's pay some hillbillies to slap each other.
Yo.
And then they do it. And then they do it.
Wait.
It's freaking.
Did you
For
see
two
one of them
grand.
box
Bless
Yoel
him, man.
Romero?
What was it?
One of the fucking power slap guys, like, did that dirty box or like whatever that boxing
Oh,
thing.
yeah, it didn't look good.
Was not right. Like, you have
Yeah.
a former Olympian versus a power slap guy.
But
I
you
don't
know what?
they were.
Who won?
Well, I think Yoel did like a little Mario hop and then just jumped
Yeah.
and ran at him, and the guy just went last. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, that is so fucking funny.
That's
Fucking
not right.
scary.
This is-
That's just all entertainment, power slap.
But I don't
versus
even think-
actual sport. Because if you call power slap a sport, I'm fucking gonna be. We're gonna have a fucking debate. Because what the fuck are you talking about?
nah,
Anyone
stop. But look,
Power slap is not a sport. Don't call it a sport. Fuck that.
Whatever
So that's
sport
disrespectful
it
to
is.
all the other
Hear me
sports
out.
out there.
all right.
This is good.
I fucking love it.
Shut the fuck up. No,
I
come on.
fucking love it.
Look,
I was
look.
the biggest hater. I was go, these motherfuckers are getting these guys to slap each other. It's fucking barbaric.
Yeah.
I snuck in. We broke in. They weren't going to give me tickets. I snuck into the power slap. I said, I'm not going to miss this first power slap. And you're sitting there. I don't know. There's something about it.
Of two guys slapping the
There-
shit out of each other.
There is, it's kind of like gladiator-ish. Like you have you're, if I slap somebody, right? If I slap this guy's like a big, like a genetic, he's not getting, like, there's something to that.
Yeah,
like,
everyone's going, oh, like,
Yeah.
I get that.
You know what
but
I
I just
mean?
don't want it, like,
You get
against, like,
slapped and
what
you
we're
just
talking
take
about.
it.
What's what we're talking about before with, like, something for, like, the culture, like, for the society. Like, that is not good for society. Like,
But that's the way society's going.
headed,
Now
which
you're
I don't
bringing
like.
me back to
Gambling,
that, which is true.
power
You
slap.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it just
Yeah.
sucks. It's like,
Red-haired,
you know, Dana White
weed-smoking
could do the right
teenagers.
thing, and he's watching motherfuckers slap each other and being like, this is hilarious.
But
You
maybe-
know,
So
he's
here, point proven. They freaking got me, bro. They fucking got me. Like, at first I was like, this is bullshit.
But then it does.
And then I went there and I got
did watch
around.
it.
There's all the people there.
I'd be
all
lying
the
if I said
freaking-
I haven't watched a
these
couple.
The influencers are
Yeah.
all up there. I'm like, yo, this is sick. Look, watch this guy die in front of me.
Fucking get slapped.
You know what I mean?
It's like, and also look, I'm sure they're not getting the best of the best. They're not getting fucking doctors and physicists to slap each other, but like it is.
100%.
The
it's
Bell,
just-
the Bell is he's
You
starting.
he knows the names.
The
This
Bell
guy's-
is starting to be an attorney.
Listen, Armor Sharukian was like well off, good parents, comes from money, and is doing MMA.
Yeah.
You ain't getting Armor Sharukian to go do fucking power slap.
I don't think you're getting any sensible.
You know, it's a certain kind of person in demographic. I don't say, let me not say demographic. Certain type of person
Yeah.
that you're gonna get to do some shit like that.
What if you get?
It just feels to me it was always
No,
like
it's-
almost demeaning. You're
all
like
of-
watching
if you look
two
at all
motherfuckers
of-
slap each
It's
other.
extremely demeaning. But I understand if you're in a position in life where you need the money and you're like, fuck it, there's this tournament where if I slap the shit out of somebody,
I could
yeah,
win.
they might slap the
But
fuck
it's
out of
only
me
$4
first.
grand.
But then imagine
Five.
there's a guy
And sometimes 10.
that has this slap that just knocks everybody out, right? And he has a neck, and a chin, and they slap him, and he doesn't get knocked out. And you're like, yo, this guy was made for this. Like, he was born and bred for this. There's guys like that. The Bell's good. KO,
Shout out the Bell.
KO
Still
Chris.
doing power slap?
Yeah.
KO
so.
Chris.
On what I haven't
it's
heard
gotta be on
about this
Fight
in a
Pass.
long time.
It's getting big.
It's
Is it really?
They got stadium, like, they got, not stadium, but like there's crowds now. It was in the Apex now. They're doing it in like little. I was like, if they put this in like a big like stadium,
This is ridiculous.
like a thing,
Wait,
like a
I might
big
have to. I
stadium.
might have to go see
power
my
slap.
baby shortly. Wait, what are the topics we got?
Is Merab the GOAT of bantamweight?
I mean, resume-wise, it's hard to argue.
I gotta hear it from Aljo's mouth. Pause.
It's tough.
That's a tough one.
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm making it uncomfortable.
yeah, but I mean, there's no.
I think it just depends on what you count. I mean, if you count titles, then you just count the title wins. But if you count like just entire resumes, it depends on how people view the competition.
Yeah, like all time.
He's beaten 5 former champs now. O'Malley makes 5. He's beaten before O'Malley was obviously 1, but now he beat him again, so that's 5. I've only beaten 4 champs.
I don't mean to make it uncomfortable, but everyone's talking about this online.
No, I don't give a shit,
This
bro.
is the conversation people are having.
No, all-time great. It's weird because like
people are starting to call Merab the GOAT.
Like
It's,
I mean,
it's like you, Dom, and Merab.
I was gonna say too, like if you put Dominic Cruz up there, like it's an interesting
There's
thing.
people
'cause,
putting TJ in the conversation.
The guy was a cheater.
All right, well,
Fucking
that's retarded.
It pisses me off.
Like,
TJ
Dominic
was so good, but he just can't. You gotta put an asterisk.
Unfortunately, I have to. I wish I
That
could.
fight with Brown was so fucking
At the
good.
time, incredible. But again, I have to.
You gotta put the
I have to
asterisk.
put the
You can't be in the-
asterisk.
you can't be in the
fucked it up.
conversation.
Yeah,
You
like
can't be in the
I wish you
conversation.
didn't. But now Dominic Cruz, even the time he
only
came.
had 2
All right, that's fair.
2 what?
But that's what I'm saying. Like
title wins.
But like skill
TJ.
that's what makes it interesting. Like you mean like the best of all time, like based on what, like skills, based on like accolades, based on like, because like skill wise, unfortunately, I don't know if Dominic Cruz's like skills translate to current day, but like at the time, like accolades, everything, like just again doing it at the era he was doing it in, I think deserves some sort of recognition. You know, like. And same thing for you and Merab. Like for Merab, like doing again, he's got the accolades now. He's got 5 former champions. But again, like skill for skill. Like it's always interesting. Like who would win? Like Sugar Ray Leonard.
I think if we asked Merab, he would say Aljo.
Yeah, I love what he says. Dominic Cruz.
I think he would say me only because of training. But
yeah, it depends on like skills or resume.
That's what I'm saying. It makes things interesting.
And I think that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But I feel like the resume. What's he on? 12 or 13 now?
13.
13, which is fucking insane.
13
My longest, I think, what they said was 9 or 10.
And arguably
I thought he
15
had
too,
11.
because the first 2 fights.
Well, they didn't count the Barral because California forced us to go to 140 because they were like, Barral's going to miss weight. So they made it, they told me like on a Wednesday, like you guys are fighting at 140 now. But regardless, it's still like, in terms of wins and everything in the division, I feel like we both beat a lot of credible dudes. I mean, I've beaten guys that were undefeated at the time. He's beaten former title challengers and John Dodson. It's for a couple of debut guys. It just really depends on how you stack the resume. But I think in terms of title wins, I don't see him not beating 3. I don't see how he could not beat 3. With the pace and trajectory he's on, there's no way he doesn't surpass all of us.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Just in terms of title wins. And then you look at the resume on top of it, it's just like, fuck.
Yeah. So at that point, it just depends on what you like. Like, do you
Dom has 2 title wins in the UFC.
in the UFC?
And some people will put him in the conversation because they're like, well, he's got 2 title wins and he also is the grandfather of bantamweights at WEC, right? Coming over to the UFC. So it's like, it really just depends on how people want to measure it up. But if you're just talking solely to the UFC, I think obviously the conversation would just be between him and I. And of course, Don, because he has 2 as well. Mm-hmm. And TJ, I guess he has 2, but still the asterisk. But I think, for me, I look at him like based on everything he's done. I would say if you're not saying it's me, you're saying it's him. That's my opinion. And just the UFC, not WEC.
I think it's you two.
Yeah, not the UFC. No, WEC. I'm just talking solely the UFC. I think you either say it's him or you say it's me. Based on, even if you don't like that, I won the belt by DQ. At the end of the day, we're the 2 guys that have been the most dominant out of everybody, or most winningest.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
I don't think anyone could really disagree with that. Which is just crazy because 2 guys from the same fucking gym.
You guys are like,
absolutely
you literally
insane.
did it
What are the
together,
odds of
bro.
that?
It's so crazy.
Someone has to write a movie on this before I die. Because that would be just amazing to watch something like that.
Fuck, actually.
It'd be sick. It'd be sick.
Honestly, both of you guys.
Who would play you?
I was thinking Steve Lee.
Let's go. That's it.
Who would play Steve Lee?
Denzel.
I was thinking Jake.
Just make it fucking crazy like that.
Jake or James Gonzalez.
Wow.
I'll do it.
I was gonna say
I play Steve Lee. Steve Lee plays
Aljo.
Aljo plays Jake.
Who plays you? LaGreca.
Alp.
LaGreca.
Honestly, like both your stories though, like yeah, they do deserve movies. Like really, like
That story
that's the-
together though.
Well,
It's
that too.
literally-
No, that's actually kind of the best part
Bro.
about it is like that it meets in the middle there
could
too. But
be-
like it's so like there's so many good stories in MMA if you actually pay
I
attention.
think it'd be
don't know.
one movie,
And then they do
the
a
sequel
beautiful.
is the two
Love it.
movies
I
together.
love that.
Bro, but
And
literally,
we're still going.
when you were champion, it was like, yeah, I'm gonna be champ. Then I'm gonna go up. Merab's gonna be champ. I'm gonna be champ at 45, and that's like, so far.
No, neither one of us thought we were gonna be champ. We were just fighting.
No, when you were champion though, you were
Yeah.
like, yeah, when I'm done here, I'll go up.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Merab's
yeah.
gonna do it, and literally like that's exactly what happened.
When was the first time when you were like, oh shit, I could be the champ?
I'm gonna say after I beat Jimmy Rivera,
Wow.
and that was in 2019 in February in Arizona, in Phoenix, and I was just like, I just outstruck this guy who was only saying I can't strike for shit, and I made him look like he didn't belong in there. And it wasn't like I crazy like beat the shit out of him, but I made a striker look pretty simple and stupid in there.
Yeah.
And then I go from that to Pedro Munoz. I beat another top 5 guy. That was the second top 5 guy I beaten. And I had just beaten Renan Barao after the Marlon Moraes knockout. I had to beat Cody Stamen, who was 2-0. And then I beat Brett Johns, who was undefeated and also 2-0. And he submitted fucking Joe Soto, which is insane, in
that
30
calf
seconds.
slicer?
30
I remember
seconds.
that rolled through. That was sick.
Bro, I trained with Joe Soto in Cali when I went to go train with Cody Gibson after we fought. He submitted me 5 times in 5 minutes. And I just thought when he submitted him, when Brett Johns submitted Joe Soto, I'm like, I'm fucking doomed. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I just got knocked out, and my first fight back is Brett Johns,
That
undefeated.
submission was kind of like a.
That was a crazy like.
it was like
you're not really
you
expecting
You got
that.
into that situation.
Yeah.
Like, you
Well,
know,
he
it
shot
happened.
in, and he
Yeah.
passed him by.
Yeah.
And then he went for the roll. So it was like he set the whole thing. I'm like, how am I going to take him down? I'm like,
What
how-
is this
I'm
guy
like,
talking about?
How am I going to take
This
this guy
guy says
down?
what?
That's literally what I'm thinking
Brett
about.
Johns? Did you toss him?
Joe Soto wrestled Jukos with John Jones. They were roommates.
Io Central, right?
He was a good wrestler. So it's like when I seen that, I'm like, fuck man, this was a nice run. Nice to
That's
see ya.
hilarious.
But whatever. And then
Respect to Joe Soto. What? That's awesome.
I forgot what the original question was now. But
When did you
when
first?
Like,
oh,
when
so
did
the
it-
Jimmy
when
Rivera,
did
yeah.
the-
So I feel like that's
thought-
when my confidence started to go like,
Yeah.
I can actually do some shit. After you beat 2 top 5 guys in a row, Jimmy Rivera, then Pedro Munoz, who just knocked out Cody Garbrandt. After watching what Cody Garbrandt just did to Dominic Cruz, I'm just like, wait a minute. If I can beat this guy, why the fuck not? Can I not be champ?
Mm-hmm.
You know, all that motivation died to when I lost to Brian Caraway and then Sunset right after. And then I beat Brow. I was like, maybe there's still a chance. And then I got knocked down flatline by Marlon Moraes. I'm like, maybe I'm just to be a gatekeeper, middle of the road kind of guy, whatever. And I'm like, I'm cool. I'm just gonna make my money and whatever, enjoy the sport, travel, meet people, whatever.
Wow.
And then Jimmy Rivera was when I was like, it clicked. I'm like, damn, bro, you can actually. There's a path to the title. And of course, Sandhagen's what amplified it. I was like, wow,
Oh, that was
that was
crazy.
number
that
3
was
versus
like,
4.
all right.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
all right, that's it.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, if there was like no, that's number 1 versus number 2. Like, if you're talking like based on accolades at the time, like
Yeah,
to me,
I
that
think we
was,
were ranked
like,
3 and 4 at the time.
Yeah, but like
That was-
you were the ones. I thought you both had the most
Credentialed.
wins. Like I think at the time Jan was fighting for the belt, but he beat
pissed.
Faber.
No, I said that was so. That was so.
That was
sick.
one of the. Well, I think it was like 5 years ago,
Yeah,
like
pissed.
yesterday or something.
Now that you say it.
I think it was. Oh wait, I think it was like 5 years ago, like 2 days ago or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
June 6th,
June
2020.
6th. Wow, crazy.
June 6th, 2020.
This episode has been brought to you by Funk Harbor Jamaican Rum Driftwood Distillery. Bring the funk. Come on, dude. This is.
Oh, man.
Alrighty.
I think based on however you look at the resume,
I will say, I think that's what makes Sandhagen dangerous. Like he has been around for a while. He's had wins. He's had losses. He's had to come back. Like he's almost like in that sense.
he reminds
like,
me of me, to be
I,
honest.
I respect that. Yeah.
Because
Like,
he went on a run. I went 4-0, 3 finishes in a row. I'm
then
thinking like, I'm the
Caraway.
fucking man. I'm not losing to no fucking body. I'm killing everybody. Fucking Brian Caraway, fucking hiding on your girlfriend's tits. Fuck you, motherfucker. I'm gonna choke you out. Get him in a full
forgot
Nelson,
about
rear naked
that.
choke. He survives, beats me by split decision. I'm still like, what the fuck? Now You go from here to there. And this is what I was saying about Sean, like how his bounce back is going to look after 2 losses in a row. Now you haven't won a fight since the Cheeto fight in May of 2024. He probably won't fight again until later this year. So it's just like, damn.
Yeah.
It takes
But
a
who is
toll.
he gonna fight? Where's he gonna go?
I don't know.
He forgot what winning feels like.
That's a
It's a tough feeling, man. When you go through a drought like that, you're like, damn, I'm only getting 1 paycheck, even though he's only getting 1 flat fee at this point. But you get to that point in your head, you're like mentally like, what do I do at this point? Because I need to win this next one. Is make or break it.
So the fight happened about 20 hours ago.
Yeah.
He quit Instagram, he quit smoking weed, and he quit masturbation.
And social media. Yeah.
Instagram, with social media.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, he's gonna be back on all 3 today. What are you talking
He
about?
should be. He's better with it.
He was in the back room like, ah!
No, you're right.
Let's go on Let's go.
Oh my god. Yo, Henry called him out.
Oh, Zudo, that's a fair fight.
Henry
Zudo.
called him out and he goes, yo, you're a
I
cuck.
would love to see
He
that.
That's
goes,
a fair
yo, you're a
fight.
cuck. Let me beat you in front of your wife's boyfriend.
Oh, damn.
That's a hard fight for Henry. I don't think he realizes
yeah.
it. But I would love, but I'd love to see it.
That's
a
a
fair
great
fight.
I
fight.
think he has the blueprint. Henry
But
can
same
do
thing, Henry
a
can take him
similar,
down.
like he can try to emulate. You know, I don't know if he can do it.
He gets tired.
Yeah, he gets tired. I don't know if
That's why it's an interesting fight because he doesn't have to worry about the sustainability of Henry like he does for Merab.
Also, I just don't think
way different.
Henry's mentally. I don't
Yeah,
think he
you're
wants.
right.
No,
never mind I
Henry
said
would be
that.
motivated to beat him.
No, he should be motivated, but like it's like kind of we're talking
He's
like
been out for
you've been
too
out for
long.
too long. Like you were like mentally out of
He
the
did
game.
a wrestling match.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw. I
It was
think
pretty good inside
yeah,
trip.
No,
Inside
he
trip
can still
couple
do that all
times.
day.
Yeah.
But I don't think he was like.
And I was supposed to compete, so he wasn't training. So he just kind of came off the couch and did that. So
you were supposed
respect
to,
for that.
You were supposed to have.
They called me last minute. It was like a week's notice, but then I had a UFC sponsored thing I had
Oh,
to
the
do. And they wouldn't,
Kazakhstan thing.
yeah, they wouldn't
Yeah,
move the
yeah.
date, so I was gonna go. But I told him yes, and then I checked and I realized I
Kazakhstan.
had a conflict. I was like, bro, I'm not gonna be back in time. But I think Henry would be in a great mind state to actually
that fight?
take that fight. I think it would be good, man.
No, that's an interesting fight.
I would love to see that. Who wouldn't want to watch these guys?
That'll be
That's
the
actually,
fight you'll
that's the
make.
fight. Yeah.
And they will build it because I'm pretty sure O'Malley would be just as annoyed having to fight this guy.
That's the fight. I feel like that's a war.
That could be an interesting fight.
I feel like that's a really good fight.
If Henry gets tired, he's gonna get pieced the
He's
fuck
gonna get
out.
hurt. Yeah.
Song Yadong was taking it to him. I think it's a bad fight for Henry. If I'm being 100%
I'd agree with
honest.
you.
I feel like Henry will do good at the beginning and then
Yeah.
and then but
Well,
then
just
it's
at that
good. It's
points in
back
their
and forth,
career.
you know?
But he had so much difficulty with the range against Yadong.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, like, how's he gonna do anything different with a much taller, rangier guy in O'Malley?
Yeah.
Unless he's just so worried about the takedown. But
I
it's
feel
not like
like-
Merab. It's just a completely different. Like, what's he gonna do? Inside leg trip you? Henry doesn't really shoot normal shots.
I feel
Very
like
rarely.
Sean would be easier to take down though than Yadong. That's my gut instinct
Oh, you might be right on that.
Maybe. I don't
because
know.
he's like longer. There's the center of mass is fucking different.
Tall guys are hard to take down sometimes, because
Really?
especially if you want to shoot a double to collect both legs, it's really hard.
Getting
Okay.
keep their legs on the ground.
I don't
Yeah.
know what the fuck.
When you go for a double leg and you pick them up and the toes are still on the mat.
You pick them up and they're still not up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're lifting, you're using a lot of energy. So you're up like this, his feet are still on the fucking
You're
floor.
like,
You're
what
like,
the
what
fuck?
the hell's going
Look
on?
at that motherfucker.
Yeah, so but that would be a fun fight. That would be very interesting to watch. Real quick, who do you guys think Patchy should fight next?
No.
Obviously, it wasn't a great debut. We could be straight up honest about it. Patchy's a homie. He's cool. I've trained with him multiple times, sparred with him, grappled with him a bunch. Cool dude. We never actually like hung out outside of the gym or anything like that, but he's from New York, Buffalo area.
Oh.
I remember he sent me a message on Twitter, like wanting to train with me like years ago. This was like in the early 2000s and like the 2010s,
Yeah.
something like that. Never actually worked out. He went to Jackson's, but whatever. Finally makes his debut. Kind of shits the bed. In my opinion, looked very rigid. Looked kind of slow. Wasn't moving his head a lot. There's a lot that he could take away to grow from this fight. With that being said, hopefully he makes those adjustments. But I just don't know who to be the next guy because he was kind of saying like he shouldn't be fighting number 10 in Mario Batista. He should be fighting higher. But he just lost to number 10.
That's a rough way to look at things.
Listen, he went for it.
Yeah, like
You give it to him. He went for it. Like he went for it. Like he
in the fight.
No, in
Jesus
the build
Christ
up.
almighty.
He went for it with the.
He sold
Like
it.
he sold himself.
Yeah,
like you're like, oh,
I kind of believe it.
I'm gonna watch, and
Stacked
then he fought the perfect fight.
No, Batista fought a smart fight.
He frustrated him.
100%.
He was put his hands up. He was like,
and he landed
motherfucker.
all the time.
He was going after him. You would move. Mm-hmm. The second he sat,
Pop something
right down the middle.
Yeah. Yep.
Right down the middle.
I landed that right hand to the head, the body like a dozen times.
He landed leg kicks. He landed leg kicks.
A couple, I think, here and there, but like
No,
I just
maybe
thought
it wasn't that fight.
I think the boxing was. Oh, there was one where he fucking that dude chewed up the other guy's leg, but
Who?
Yeah,
Which was that?
Medeiros?
That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
No, but
yeah.
No, Batista fought a smart fight. And you know what? I just think Patchy, he definitely put way too much on. Like the way he was talking, like it just, you can almost guarantee those never go well when a guy talks like that when he's going into his UFC debut. Also, look, respectfully, you took a lot of time off. You didn't necessarily look great in that last fight with Magomedov. Like you can argue if you're not thinking like that and just being as objective as possible.
I thought he actually lost.
Objectively,
that fight.
I thought he
but
lost.
I was
that
happy
fight.
he won.
Yeah, 100%. No, I'm a fan of Patchy Mix. That's why I think he could have made the division very interesting.
He still got time.
Yeah,
He should have been the next guy.
And it's crazy because obviously the UFC jitters, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say. I think that's an actual real thing. So it
But
could
I
be
will
a
say the
combination
problem
of
with
all
that one is he's made those issues in previous fights. Like he had those, and also the way you were talking. Like you were talking.
Yeah. You
like,
get in the UFC under those lights, everything
It's
gets
different.
magnified.
Yeah. But you're right.
You go in there and you're feeling like a little. Then things start going the other guy's way. Like the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck. Now.
Frozen. Yeah.
I talked all this shit. Like it's very easy.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like he has If he would have landed something maybe earlier, I don't know why he didn't shoot for some takedowns.
That's what it was about. He
That
really
was
didn't.
weird.
I don't
It
know
looked
what
like he
he
was
did
not.
in the fight. Like
He's not really a wrestler like that.
No, he
he's
finds
good at
entries.
once he gets an underhook, if he can get you towards the cage, he's
but it was
very
like
good.
one clinch attempt.
Even
Really, I thought
what he was doing seemed to not work, and there was no diversion.
Plan B.
Yes.
There was no other plan.
The upside to talking like that is if you went out there and choked, Batista out in 30 seconds, you're probably the
been a
guy.
rock star.
Yeah, you'd be immediately
You
up
would
there,
have
like
been probably
next in line.
next
You could have arguably
Yeah.
jumped over Sandhagen just for that. But again, it's almost like the Bo Nickel thing. Like,
Do you think he would have been jumped over Sand if he went out there and choked him out
the problem is like,
and cut a sick promo on the mic?
oh, they would have
I
cut
think
him. They
there's
would have
no
won right
reason.
over.
They would have
Sandhagen.
went over
I'm gonna say
Sandhagen
no
in the
question.
crowd on the camera.
He's only on a 1-fight win streak right now.
Also, he just seems like a nice white guy. Like I don't mean like in a bad, just just seems like a nice country Colorado guy. Like they don't want that. They
goes
don't
on
want.
hikes.
Goes on hikes. Like seems like maybe smokes a little weed. Reads a book. Like seems
Mushrooms.
Like mushroom.
Yeah, he's
whatever.
a big shroom guy.
Seems like he's doing shrooms and reading like a kind of a nerdy dude.
But I feel like that kind of has its own aura.
No,
to
it does. But
yeah.
like that's not the
Social
That
UFC.
makes me
A lot of
social
those
media.
He's doing
people-
much better with that. I like that.
I'm intrigued in Corey's storyline.
Yeah.
He's the calm guy who could be like the wise.
But I don't know if he
meditating
draws
champion,
he draws like the mass appeal.
But
Unfortunately,
his style
that they look.
does.
But his style does. Yeah.
That's why it's kind of cool. He's like a
Patchy
fucking
Mix, you're saying could have
He's like
been
a
that
monk
I think
guy.
Patchy Mix, they would have just been
Could
like,
have been
okay,
the guy.
yeah.
And he's very popular in his hometown. Like, just about everybody knows him. They fuck
Buffalo?
with him. Yeah.
It's a big crowd.
So no, he
Drug
gets
addict.
he gets a good amount of people that come out to his fights whenever he fights, like in his hometown type of thing. So that would have been really for him to win. That would have been like a really good thing.
I'm talking about Buffalo, man.
Yeah, it's like
What?
Buffalo.
Who gives
No,
a
it is, but yeah, but it's still like
You
a
gotta
little
talk
city.
like bigger than that.
That's good for Bellator, Buffalo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
They could sell out
Damn.
a theater in Bellator.
Definitely.
no Patchy. Honestly,
offense.
if they don't do an O'Malley Cejudo fight, Patchy O'Malley, I think that's an interesting fight.
I think that's a stylistic favorability for O'Malley.
I think it should be absolutely.
It should be.
Unless Patchy, you got to make those adjustments right
in those
now.
last two fights that we watched Apache, I don't see any indication that he would be able to cut O'Malley off,
Move his head.
move his head, and could get a solid takedown attempt to actually take him down.
Is Patchy the
Patchy
sacrificial
Mix
lamb?
versus Sean O'Malley.
Would be a great.
Yeah.
I think that's a great fight for O'Malley. A big name matchup, but at the same time, it's a very winnable fight for Apache if he can take him down.
Yeah.
If he can take him down, he submits him, 100%.
Patchy.
Patchy. But if it stays on the
O'Malley's
feet,
pretty crafty, man.
no, but I'm saying on the feet. I think Patchy's gonna have a very hard time. If he had a hard time with Batista, I think he's gonna have a more difficult time
No,
with
for
O'Malley.
sure.
His
I
footwork
think-
is really good,
Yeah.
but
I
styles make fights.
have to piss really bad.
I do too.
Can we call this?
I think we did enough. 316 glazing.
Yeah, we glazed
Shout
the
out,
fuck out.
you! Straight out of Korea for the Korean zombie.
My boy, you.
For my Korean friends.
Come on, man. That was sick. Come
Yo.
on. My boy, that was sick. Just look.
Left.
Done.
That was Connor-esque.
Very short, choppy.
Didn't even look like the
Am I
hardest
wrong
shot.
for saying that?
That's fair. Just one little check
Because
hook
they're gonna cook me for saying that.
That's fine.
Connor
Saying what?
No, it was. He stepped back and
Yeah,
hit a
that's
nasty.
fucking- that was like
and it wasn't
Jose
a
Aldo
backhand.
knockout.
It was a lead hand. Like stepping back, leaned, and then fake. I was like, oh shit.
And
That's crazy.
out cold, going
Out-
backward.
Face
Boom.
plant KO. That
That's
was a bad
fucking
one.
crazy.
No.
You don't see a lot of those. You see like Stipe
Also-
versus Fabricio Verdum, Forrest Griffin, Anderson Silva.
Where you get that. You
Yeah.
run him into a backhand.
Joshua
Yeah.
Van too.
Joshua Van.
Bro, he's fucking
The
sick.
best
Oh, he's a
He's
beast.
fucking
left hook
sick.
check knockout. Floyd Mayweather when he fought.
Vitor Ortiz.
No.
Ricky Hatton.
Rick Hatton.
Ricky Hatton. That was a
Face
bad one.
planted
Face
into the
planted.
turnbuckle.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was sick.
That was a great one too. Damn, it was Floyd too. I didn't think he was whatever. I didn't think he could do that.
That was. You know,
That was a big yeah. Oh, sorry. What are you saying, Jake?
Joshua Van.
Oh yeah.
He's the future.
He lost
That's a
Charles
cool.
Johnson.
Bantamweight needs a Joshua Van, who's
lost
not like fake, where it's like a fake push.
Yeah.
That guy is
Young,
like
exciting
He's the
boxer.
guy you put the money behind.
Hawaiian?
Yeah.
Hawaii needs a guy too.
I don't think he's not Hawaiian though, right?
Hawaii
was
needs a
Hawaiian.
guy.
But they got Max.
Hawaii's
Max
is
Holloway.
He's
kinda-
not. He's not Hawaiian.
Yeah, Joshua.
He's
Van.
something else. He's
Max?
No, Joshua. Van.
no. Josh Van.
Hawaii needs a guy.
Max
You got-
Holloway's not the guy.
He's a
He
new
is,
guy.
but he's kind of like
He's getting out there.
Yeah.
They got to. Well, yeah.
I don't think Max Holloway is bringing the UFC to Hawaii at this point.
Yeah,
If
I
he
don't know.
did, he would have done it.
Yeah.
The UFC needs to go to Hawaii. Has to
I'm
happen.
going to
I
Hawaii
need
for
to go
UFC
watch.
Hawaii.
That's what
fight
I'm
in
saying.
Hawaii.
Hawaii is
Bro,
beautiful.
why are you not having the UFC in Hawaii?
Yeah, I don't know.
don't know.
They always made excuses.
If
like,
I can
Why?
take
So
a
they
piss
don't
break,
really
I'll
have
have
the-
this conversation.
the
right now.
infrastructure, that's
I
what
go
the-
real quick.
But Bellator went over there. Like that's what they
Yeah,
argue.
Bellator can go over there. Why can't the
That
UFC?
was the show
Bellator went
Patchy,
to Hawaii?
100%.
Yeah,
That's the show
Bellator.
Patchy
Brother.
knocked out Stotts.
Hawaii used to be like
Fighting.
what was it? Ring of something, RIT something. They like Rumble on the Rock.
Rumble on the
Rumble
Rock.
on the
That's
Rock.
it, yeah.
Rumble,
Carlos Condit.
ROTC.
Yeah.
See how I just did man? I just put it all
ROTC?
together. in my head.
Rumble on the
ROTR.
Rumble
whatever.
on the Rock. ROTR.
R.
Yeah.
But whatever.
ROTC's a
But no, they caught, yeah.
Bro,
Carlos
see what I'm
Condit.
saying? Fucking go to the
Who else?
bathroom.
Oh, shit.
Your mic's
Wait, it-
all messed up.
Is there anything else we're supposed to do?
No. Honestly, we'll probably just cut. I think we're good.
Oh, but then we're gonna just cut like just abruptly, like the
Like
show's
The
just gonna
Sopranos.
end.
It's like The Sopranos.
Shut the fuck up! Oh, I just started watching Sopranos.
I have
Phenomenal.
never watched The
I
Sopranos.
gotta watch it again. I
Phenomenal.
watched it way back. It was
Never
fucking
seen it before
25
now.
years ago.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just watching it with the baby like every night now. This is
Yeah,
the
I gotta
best.
get into The Sopranos. I'm gonna
I'll
take
say-
my phone off.
Let me know who you
Airplane
guys
mode.
think Patchy Mix should fight next. Let me know who you think Sean O'Malley should fight next. And of course, what should the champ do, the two-time defending bantamweight champ of the world, Merab Dvalishvili? What should the machine do in terms of his next opponent? When would you guys like to see him back? With that said, shout out Ayaquinta Real T. Let's go. And Funk Harbor, baby.
All right.
And Steve Lee, he's a dad.
Oh yeah, I'm a dad now. Thank you.
Steven Wee.
Steven Wee on Instagram.
So funny.
Cut.
And cut. See you guys.
I put my phone on airplane mode. No, Chicken Joe. He goes.
I really blocked me. I don't think you did.
He goes, why would you block me? I don't think you did.